What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome. This is supposed to be the Creatia Conversation, but we switching it up today because MetaQuest is doing a live showcase right now, and we decided we were just gonna watch that. But I'm your host, Lord Cussalot Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I'm joined today by the honorary Oos of Creation World at D World Gray. How you doing, Will?
I was born to pivot, Mr. Pointer. Born to pivot.
Because this is a 100% pivot. Not at all what we were planning on talking about today, but fuck it, let's do it. Because I had the trailer here before the new MetaQuest 3, and I'm like, oh, okay, we'll watch that today. But I'm like, oh, wait a minute, they just started a live showcase, like right now. So yeah, that's what we're doing today.
That's not all Shell Games is working on. They made a promise at last year's showcase.
She looks like she could be a character from The Office.
Hot off the press, let me introduce you to Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire. Silent Slayer is a single-player horror game that'll bring you face-to-face with slumbering vampires. And as you might guess from the title, stealth is key to survival. As Shell Games puts it, silence is golden, sound is death. Spooky. Let's take a peek.
Let's do it.
Silent, but deadly.
At last, aim for the center of the chest, and do not be gentle.
I don't remember what you said before. How much VR have you really interacted with?
I've played around and played with it. I don't currently own one. I'm hoping that when the PS5 becomes a thing in my world, that the PS VR thing won't be too far behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be coming, just not currently.
At last year's showcase, we revealed Ghostbusters, Rise of the Ghost Lord. And then I got to drive off into the sunset in the iconic Ecto-1. For this year's show, Sony Pictures VR and nDreams put together a little dossier on the Ghost Lord himself. Who is he, and how did he get to be so mean? Along the way, we'll get a glimpse of the West Coast's first Ghostbusters HQ, some iconic San Francisco landmarks, and the spirits and specters that you'll be trapping there with your friends. Let's take a look.
You think you know the whole story of the Ghostbusters. Well, you don't know my story. 1984. My research brought me to Columbia University, where I studied under the Ghostbusters. They dismissed my work.
This is one of those games where I think my big critique for VR games is always, will I be able to invest 8, 9, 10, 12 hours of gameplay like a normal game and grind in it with VR? And the Ghostbusters world, I think, is big enough they could do that.
Oh, definitely.
Where it's not too repetitive, where you're not just going into the different rooms doing the same things.
The exact same thing over and over again, yeah.
Katie understands. Soon everyone will understand. Especially you, Ghostbusters, with your silly pilot tricks. You will see the progress I have made. Know the power I have harnessed. You will realize that I, Gustav Hookfather, am the genius who gave the world endless clean energy. The Ghost Lord is coming. What have I brought upon the world? The time of the Ghost Lord is here.
That could be cool.
Oh yeah. I love Ghostbusters, so.
What'd you think about the most recent one that came out?
Check this out. The team let me into the
I never
San
played it.
Francisco Ghostbusters HQ.
You talking about the movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have heard some strange.
Like I didn't hate it, but it was,
Guess what? I've got my.
it happened, but I liked it.
My PKE meter. And
Oh, see, I liked it about as
that's
much
what
as
I'm
I
teaming up with
expected
to
to,
take out
because
the
it's still
Ghost
not,
Lord. Because if there's
the
one
same as
thing you
what I
can say
grew up
about
with, of
me,
course. But
is that I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
it wasn't. Thing is, that movie really wasn't for me,
No,
So
Anyway,
I accept that. I
when we
know that.
asked one Hom
I liked it enough to make it all the way through at one time.
something players will love about your new game, they said you can lose an arm, then pick it back up and bash your enemies with it.
Oh, hell yeah.
There you go. Underdogs is a physics-based brawler where you wrap yourself in your 5-ton gorilla mech and rampage through New Bracca, the 22nd century mech fighting capital of the world. Take on whatever the pitmasters throw your way and upgrade your mech to be even more fearsome. But remember, the more you climb the ranks, the more every lowlife in the city will be gunning for you. So get ready to claw your way up the food chain.
Yo, this city ain't never gonna let two base boys like us in. Nah, this the jungle out here, bruv. If we wanna get into New Bracca, we're gonna have to fight like fucking animals.
This screams Borderlands to me for some reason.
I can see that kind of, yeah.
The style of animation and everything, kind of like Borderlands adjacent.
I want to some of them, you think of some joke thing? Nah, sir.
You're in the red! Get up, man! The bubble's critical! Your arm's broken clean off! Ricardo, they're coming in for the kill! Get up and fight! Get up and fight!
Okay.
It's got potential.
Yeah.
At the very least, I like mechs. I like the idea of being inside a robot.
At last year's show, we revealed NFL Pro Era, the first NFL and NFLPA licensed VR football sim. Since the game's launch last October, you've completed over 3 million NFL seasons and unlocked over 9 million trophies. But what's next?
I haven't
Here
done
to
any
tell
of
you
that.
is Status Pro president
Not once.
and former NFL wide receiver Andrew Hawkins.
Thanks, Ruth. Our goal last year at Status Pro was to give people the experience of being NFL QB1, feeling the rush of stepping onto the field and leading your favorite NFL team to victory. The positive response we got from our community was overwhelming, but that was just the beginning. Later this year,
I wonder if the NFL uses VR for training and simulation in any capacity.
this year is all about showing the world
Yeah, that's
with the new version of NFL.
maybe
Pro
not
Era,
like a
players
lot
will
yet,
play
but
you and your
I'm
best
sure they're
friends
like integrating it more and more.
against each other and see who comes out on top.
So I'm sure the military
There's
is
a lot of
too.
competition
So
out there.
Oh, yeah.
See how our community's QB skills stack up. We got a lot more to share though between now and launch.
I would love to see what the military's VR looks like.
More than a
Yeah.
roster update. The next version of NFL Pro Era will build on last year's game in so many cool ways, and we cannot wait to get it in your hands. Check us out on social. We posted a lot of community and game updates there before we launch this fall. This is really cool, by the way.
Thanks, Hawk. All right, moving on from the field to the court. Back in December, Resolution Games, creators of Blastin' and Demio, revealed their latest project, Racket Club, an all-new sport designed exclusively for VR. Practice your swing solo, play pickup matches with people all around the world, or just hang out and socialize courtside with your friends in this one-of-a-kind sports complex. Here's a new look at Racket Club.
What in the world?
look, if you If you're gonna have me playing tennis, I want to actually really be playing tennis. Like,
Bouncing around inside that little glass box looks like that would be hectic as shit with 4 people.
yeah. Not one for racquetball. Give me some tennis. Like,
I was really hyped. As weird as it sounds, it's like Wii Sports on steroids. If you think about how VR works, so it theoretically it could be cool. And to me, I'm like, why limit yourself to being in a little glass box when you could literally have an entire ass tennis court out there playing doubles?
I feel like it's the limitation that VR gives you right now as far as the Quest goes. Like, they don't want to have to worry about you moving from side to side if you're just in this one spot having to do it. You know,
That's true. Yeah.
From Fast Travel Games. It was the first VR game set in the world of darkness. And today, we're diving back into the world of supernatural horror with an all-new adventure RPG, Vampire: The Masquerade Justice, which will send you to Venice, but not the Venice you see on postcards. You are a vampire, comfortable in the city's darkest shadows. Hide in plain sight, drink the blood of mortals, and use your vampiric abilities to become the ultimate judge of the guilty. So, without further ado, let's sink our teeth into the debut trailer for Vampire: The Masquerade Justice.
Venice. Italy. Felt like I was back on square one. Hiding in the night.
I'm here for being a little bit of a sneaky snake.
I didn't want to get dragged into this. But the guilty must be punished.
so you are the vampire, or are you the vampire hunter? Can I be either one?
I was about to say, why not both?
Because if you don't, I'll make things very uncomfortable for you.
I mean, all right.
Next, an adventure that
I could get into that.
This one is special to me. It's developed by Othergate, a studio co-founded by 4 VR veterans who I used to work with for years on the Oculus Studios team on our very first and super popular franchise, Dead and Buried. I know firsthand that these guys are masters at making fun multiplayer games.
Oculus is now owned by Meta, right?
Project
Yeah.
Dungeons of Eternity.
That's what I thought.
This
Yeah, they bought the Oculus before
from hundreds of unique chambers. So
the,
no two trips are the same. You'll explore dark crypts.
Actually, no, I'm not sure
ruined
anymore. I
castles,
don't remember how long ago it
deep
was, but yeah, they bought them a
battle
while ago. I
monstrous
think they bought it
enemies
when they were
with
still
melee
Facebook.
magic, solve
And they were because they were pushing towards this metaverse thing.
Right. So they
safety,
changed their
level up,
name from
and then
Facebook
do
to
it all
Meta,
over again
and then
in a
the
brand new dungeon.
Oculus became
Take a
the
look.
Oculus Quest became the Meta Quest.
I was a big Elder Scrolls guy, so I'm immediately into this.
Yeah.
This is
Like
very Morrowind.
Lots of dungeon crawling, traps and obstacles. Yep, drink your potion. There you go.
Solves all your ailments.
Mm-hmm.
A big stone lava guy.
I say shoot it in the big orb thing in the middle, clearly. Come on. Dungeons of Eternity. A lot of this stuff is just coming later this year. That's cool.
Okay, we brought back
I
some.
like it. It seems like they're expanding what they're doing. It's not just a lot of the same stuff.
How about one of the
Yeah.
best-selling games of the 90s? An iconic mystery, maybe? something a little spooky? Yeah, I think we have one like that.
Okay, Vertigo.
That's a name I recognize.
Yeah.
It's you. Don't be afraid. I'm here to help. There are many like me here, trapped in this house. Each night, the guests arrive.
Stout, what do you want? Show yourself.
The Seventh Guest. Not a title I'm familiar with.
Not at all.
Yeah, they said a popular game from the 90s, so I'm just like...
For ushering in the CD-ROM era, once upon a time. But it's a great puzzle adventure game. And it's cool to see Vertigo Games and Vertigo Studios Rotterdam staying...
Oh, so it's like a Myst. Like it's an old PC game.
Era. The team is using volumetric video to capture the live action performances of actors to help tell the game's story. They're also fully recreating the iconic mansion in 3D for the first time. Just don't be surprised if it starts changing shape around you. It is haunted after all. In addition to The Seventh Guest, Vertigo is working on Arizona Sunshine 2, a sequel to one of the most popular games from VR's early days. This one people have been waiting to see for a long time, including me.
Didn't we just see a trailer for this on the Sony thing?
Okay, we have another short teaser for you.
Arizona Sunshine 2?
Hello
Yeah.
to your old pal Freddy. And hello to
Somehow I
you,
missed the
Freddy,
name
as
of the
well.
game, she said. But yeah, we did.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure you and I did that. It was me, you, and Ed, but... Because this is the game that looks like Left 4 Dead 2, and I was hyped for this.
What's going on, Fred? Hold up. Allow me to show you.
That was the thing, though. A lot of the stuff at the showcase, they're like, yeah, most of the stuff is not exclusive to PlayStation.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Watch it. What the? Get a room. You know that only counts as one.
Yeah, we did.
That's what I thought. That's cool. I'm definitely here for that. That looks like a lot of fun in VR.
Yeah. What's going on there? We did a bit of a pivot today. We were expecting to do a normal show, and we realized, oh, MetaQuest is doing the gaming showcase, so let's just watch that. So that's what we're doing.
Sunshine 2 launches later this year. So be sure to check out the game's extended CG reveal trailer if you haven't already. Okay. Last November, Netflix and Tender Claws revealed that the hit series Stranger Things is coming to VR. I hope you're comfortable in the Upside Down because you're going to be spending a lot of time there. In this chilling psychological horror experience, you are Vecna, invading people's minds and conjuring up their worst nightmares.
That's a cool twist.
Revenge on Eleven and her friends. Stranger Things VR comes to MetaQuest Store later this year. And here is a brand new trailer.
Exactly.
Truth.
I saw a means to realize my potential, to transcend my human form.
It surprises me the first Stranger Things game we're getting is a VR game.
Where I was always born to be.
Is this the first one?
That I know of.
Oh, let me see. I feel like I know there was that one like browser game. It was like the endless runner kind of thing. But hold on.
I know there's been like little mobile things too, but I'm thinking first full length like story game.
It was let's see, a beat 'em up came out back in 2018. No, 2019.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just think that's a franchise that would kill in like a Telltale game style, like comic book game.
It's time to strap into your omnidirectional mobility gear and prepare to fight the unthinkable. Attack on Titan is a best-selling manga series, acclaimed anime adaptation, and now, thanks to the team at Universe, an exhilarating VR game.
Yeah, it's mostly board
Attack on
games,
Titan
and of course,
VR
there's
is
some D&D
unbreakable.
content out for it too.
Join the Scout Regiment and go head-to-head with the Titans themselves. Swing through the air using your ODM gear and take down enemies many times your size.
So, Attack on Titan VR game.
Of humankind.
I
Some of you
mean,
may already be familiar with
it
this
sounds
game because
traumatizing.
we teased it late last year, but you didn't get to see the game's dynamic, high-flying battles.
They did an Attack on Titan crossover with Fortnite this season.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
It was cool. They did a lot of like tie-over stories. What's the main character's name? Ewan Gregor?
Aaron
Aaron
Yeager.
Gregor. Yeah, there you go. Aaron Yeager. He was like an NPC, but he gave you quests and you had to do stuff for him that was kind of based off of that universe. But they did give you the ODM gear and you could fly around in Fortnite like this, and it was dope as shit.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron Yeager's a very angry young man.
That little bit made me go, that'd be cool as shit in VR.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just that little bit. I was like, okay, I'm here for that.
Looks like they're doing stuff in VR that's actually interesting, that gets people's attention, because it's getting mine.
The creators behind Outriders and Painkiller introduced the world to skill shots. Blast an enemy out of the air, skill shot.
They kind of solved that locomotion problem with VR, because, like, you know, if you're supposed to be walking in VR, it's hard to make it feel like you're really walking. But if you're swinging around with your ODM gear, you can simulate that a lot easier.
Yeah.
We've got it. Here's your first look at Bulletstorm in VR.
I've been low-key kind of impressed with everything they've showed us.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there hasn't been too much of it that looks like a VR game. Like, most of this looks like it could be a late PS3, early PS4 game. Like, none of them are pushing the graphics boundaries, but you don't expect that in VR.
Oh, no, not right now.
They're giving you good story-based games, which is a big complaint I always have, that it's just, you know, fruit slice and, you know, stuff like that with VR. And they're actually developing quality full-length games now. Like, I'm happy with it. Hell yeah.
That's what VR needs. Somebody that just believes in it and invests in it, because if you don't, it's not going to go anywhere.
If they keep this up for a few years, it could be viable. You know what I mean? That they have what they want to do. I don't think they have the technology for yet. So what they're trying to do is keep a big enough carrot on a string until they catch up.
Right.
And it looks like they're making good steps, man. Like, maybe I'll get an Oculus or a MetaQuest. You know?
The Bulletstorm we all know and love.
Yeah, when it comes to
skill shot, every
VR, at this point, MetaQuest is still your best bet over PlayStation VR, just because you got more there.
Deliver devastating blows and mow down hordes of mutated enemies.
And it's cordless. So there's that too.
For later this year. And thanks to People Can Fly and Incubo for bringing such a fun project to life. Okay, before we start talking about our final game, I know you've been waiting for an update on Assassin's Creed in VR. And I have good news.
Yes, we have.
Assassin's Creed Nexus is coming to the MetaQuest store by the end of the year.
Nice.
Tune into Ubisoft Forward on June 12th for the full
we'll be
reveal
watching.
of Assassin's
We'll be watching.
Creed.
We will be.
Because that's live during this show. So, yeah.
Into it. In 2019, Asgard's Wrath took us on an epic journey across the fabled 9 realms of Norse mythology. That journey ended here, imprisoned in this very tavern by the trickster god Loki. But Destiny has more in store for you. From Sanzaru Games and Oculus Studios, this is the world premiere of Asgard's Wrath 2. Chaos is spreading.
Loki's evil invades all realms.
He must not be stopped.
They obviously have a little bit of a budget because they got Ozzy.
Has made you stronger, Guardian.
Norse mythology is always fun. So
Terrifyingly large scorpion.
Your reality is mine, Guardian.
Exact your vengeance.
And unleash your wrath.
That may have been the coolest one yet. Easily.
why they saved it for last.
Asgard's Wrath 2 is an all-new standalone adventure in this epic series. Freed from prison by the Weavers of Fate, you'll set out on a new quest across time and space, from the Norse realms to the deserts of ancient Egypt. Here on the Great Sand Sea, you'll once again battle gods and creatures.
She's gonna get
of
those white shoes awful dirty and all that dirt.
all of creation. When the original Asgard's Wrath
Digital third or
released on
not.
PC VR, players with its jaw-dropping scale, brutal physics-based combat, and stunning graphics. Asgard's Wrath 2 will set a whole new standard for wireless VR. This is the deep and immersive action RPG that you've been waiting for, packing enormous free-roaming environments, gorgeous visuals, and well over 60 hours of exploration and tense combat into MetaQuest 2 and MetaQuest 3.
There you go.
Today, my friend
60
Matt
hours,
Gilbert,
Will.
head of design at Sanzaro,
I mean, that's a little bit of time to sink into a game.
title. Everything you're about to see was captured in game. Matt, the mic's yours.
Oh, they're showing us more. Okay, let's
I'm
go.
so excited to show everyone what we've been working on at Sanzaro these last few years.
Let's go.
Asgard's Wrath 2 picks up where the first game left off, in a mysterious tavern you can't escape from. You're
I don't know
suddenly
what happened in the
thrust into
first
battle
game
with a
though, so
giant creature clearly
No idea.
just when you think
But you
all
pissed off that
encountered
phoenix-looking bird.
a trio of beings that set you off upon your adventure to find and stop Loki.
I'll whoop Loki's ass.
So just how much bigger is this game?
I feel like if it's not the Disney Loki, it's just a little cheap ripoff.
Like Muspelheim,
Really?
the land of fire, the Weavers of Fate will also
Tom
bring
Hiddleston.
realms like the vast desert expanse. Of
Tom Hiddleston
ancient
becoming Loki makes the actual
These
Loki feel like a
massive
ripoff.
Yeah.
Egypt game on the MetaQuest platform.
That tracks.
Come alive in Asgard's Wrath 2. Dotted with temples, caves and dungeons, characters to meet,
Travel well.
monsters to battle, quests and side quests, wildlife, crafting resources, mini games, and more. This is a living world you can roam and explore freely. The most expansive of these worlds is the Great Sand Sea, full of hidden treasures and unique events. You could spend hours upon hours exploring this map and still not discover all its secrets. You might decide to prove
They're speaking my language now.
by hunting rare, high-level monsters that roam the sands.
Get to hunt the
or
monsters
gather
and
plants
everything.
Or in animal parts to craft useful consumable goods.
You into the
such as
crafting
bait
in
to
these
attract
games?
Wildlife. Or a
Yes,
sword that provides
without a
Well,
doubt.
temporary
I was about to say, yeah,
daily
you're
benefit
loving the Zelda
wherever
stuff, so
you
yeah, you're
throw it.
definitely into the
But it's not
collecting
all
and
about
crafting
survival.
and whatnot.
Kick back.
I like the individuality it gives the gamer. because my experience would be totally different than yours based on what we choose to craft and how we choose to craft and what weapons we want to make and use. Like,
Worlds are so big.
I love being given that kind of creative freedom with a game.
Ooh,
Luckily,
you
you'll
can
have
pet the
power
panther.
of a god at your
And now
fingertips.
you have a pet panther, Travis,
As with
that you
It's a
can
mount.
ride.
You'll be
It's a
able to
fucking
turn
mount.
Holy shit.
with animals into unique warrior followers to help you solve puzzles.
Holy
and
shit.
enemies. New in this
Okay,
game,
so they incorporated parts of WoW now.
they can carry you swiftly across the
Customize-
massive realm of Asgard's Wrath 2.
Come on.
That's awesome.
That was cool.
Of course,
Yeah.
what's fast on foot or mount can look very different to a god. Like Asgard's Wrath, you'll also see the
Please tell me that's how you have to make potions, is you have to like
Balance
physically
out the
handle
scales.
them and balance them out, your recipes and stuff.
reach inaccessible areas, solve puzzles, and more.
I'm liking this a lot.
You can't
Wow.
save the world alone, though.
This may be the game that convinces me I need to get this.
Yeah.
To enter the realm of legend.
Holy crap.
Each hero in Asgard's Wrath 2 is completely unique. Different weapons, different skills and abilities, and different strengths. By possessing these mortals, you can help them fulfill their destinies and get closer to yours as well.
I just sit here and think about how ridiculous I'm going to look playing this game.
Cynical tomb robber.
Yeah,
grudge
same.
against the
But
gods,
I'm okay with that.
Worth it. 100%.
and likely pair.
Oh, I get to throw my things to open up puzzles
Fearsome enemies like the bloodthirsty
and then
god
use the force to get them back.
Raxus seeks vengeance against Sekhmet for the murder of his father. With his boomerang axe, whip sword, and bladed
You
shield,
say
that
boomerang axe?
he'll
He
stop
said boomerang axe. He said it.
So I throw the axe and it comes back?
That was one of the aspects
Yes.
I loved most about Asgard's Wrath, us included. It was vicious and brutal.
Yep.
Whether
It just
What?
happened.
throwing arrows, or
He
even
threw it and missed, and it came back and killed the person.
powerful
Yes.
and skilled.
That
In
was
the
cool.
first game, the combat favored a defense-first approach, meaning you had to block and parry a series of enemy attacks before you had a chance to remove their runic shields. This loop had to be completed 3 or 4 times before you could start damaging an enemy. In Asgard's Wrath 2, our updated combat system is centered around player choice. Nothing is holding you back. You can chip away at enemy shields through a flurry of attacks or land skilled parries to trigger opportunity windows that let you cut through your enemy's defenses with ease.
Nice.
That's
We
dope.
also expanded the systems to include elemental types for a greater degree of player customization and wider variety amongst enemy archetypes. This time,
I like
we have
player
a full
choice.
physics system implemented for weapons, with swords, axes, bows, staffs, and more at your disposal. You can find a combat style that's right for you. But
The
you'll
head
need
was
to
still
pick up your
attached.
approach, as enemies will now react to your every movement and switch up their own attacks. You'll
Oh, he's throwing it back
Why
at
they
you.
caught it and threw it back? Yeah.
letting you invest further in the weapons you use most.
Ooh, spiky shield.
Unlock
Yeah.
powerful abilities and super attacks to truly change the game. Nothing feels better than seeing your weapon soar into the air and rain down on a horde of enemies. You'll also discover
What?
relics you can slot into your weapons and armor that will provide you with powerful buffs, like adding fire damage to your weapon or heal over time, allowing you to customize your weapon set against each enemy you face. But you won't be the only one leveling up. Your animal followers have their own skill trees and will grow in power the more you spend time with them. Even with an upgraded companion and all these powers at your disposal, don't think the enemy AI will go easy on you. As you level up, so will they, gaining new abilities, smarter tactics, sneaky counters, stronger armor, powerful super attacks, and relics to use against you.
Okay.
Will even heal each other,
Can I take their relics after I
boost
kill
each
them?
other's damage, or call
Do I get to loot them for their cool shit too?
have to use
Exactly.
all the strength, endurance,
I
speed,
want one of those Doctor Strange shields.
to forge a path through the ravenous
Can I
enemies
put the Doctor
that stand
Stranginess
between
on my
you
spiky
and
shield?
your destiny.
Yeah. How customizable are we getting here, guys?
Exactly.
For a true challenge and the opportunity to earn bragging rights amongst your friends, you can step into the Uncharted Rifts, an infinitely replayable dungeon crawling mode with exclusive loot that you can take back with you into the main campaign. The rifts are always open, so you can visit at any point during or even after the campaign and put your skills against some of the toughest time-limited challenges the rifts have to offer.
That's
Face
cool.
seemingly ferocious enemies as you delve deeper into these endless labyrinths, encountering the ghosts of players who fell victim to the rifts before you. Whether friend or foe, these specters will be part of your dungeon,
Oh, cool.
helping or hindering your progress. Survive long enough, and you'll earn a spot on the leaderboards and those precious bragging rights. The Uncharted Rifts are deep and full of mystery.
Damn.
They're almost like a whole game.
So kind of a PvP mode.
Barely scratch the surface of all
Yeah,
the
it'd be
unique
like
dangers
AI
you'll encounter.
simulations of other people,
Yeah,
but
like
not
I
actually
hope
them.
that this first look
it's like when you're racing your ghost in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
We've got so much more to show you. More heroes, more companions, more gods, Loki anomalies. I can't wait to show you more. Back to you, Ruth.
Yeah. Asgard's Wrath
Wow.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, now head over to the MetaQuest store because pre-orders of Asgard's Wrath 2 are open. Pre-order and you'll get a copy of the original Asgard's Wrath on PC. You don't have to play it before, but it'll add some fun context. You'll also get immediate access to the Great Sand Sea home environment I'm standing in now, and unlock an exclusive Asgard's Wrath 2 themed character, as well as the title of Cosmic Guardian in Population 1. And once Asgard's Wrath 2 launches later this year, those who pre-ordered will get access to the Sword of Ra and the Sun God's battle armor.
So it's not just Norse
That's the
mythology. I
end of
kind
our
of saw
main
that
showcase.
earlier, but
Stick around for more because up next, we have some of the most passionate VR creators sitting down to discuss the games from the show. And while you're there, we're running a sale on favorites like NFL Pro Era, Resident Evil 4, Bone Lab, Among Us, and many more. And like last year, we're also giving away this awesome room I'm standing in. It's available now in settings under Home Environments. Of course,
oh,
there's
it's just
so
stuff
much
in
more we want
MetaQuest.
to share
Okay.
with
I'm
you.
like, what do you mean just giving away the
We plan to
room?
announce more games.
At first, I was like, "What does she mean by that?" And then it was like, "Oh yeah, and that's
We've got
that metaverse thing where you have like your home environment that people can
Yeah.
come over and hang out in."
Helped put the show together. Keep playing, and we'll see you next year.
I mean, that is pretty dope looking.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I mean, that was a fun surprise for the day.
Most definitely.
Was not expecting that at all when I woke up this morning.
No.
But yeah, well, I mean, how you feeling? What do you think of what you saw just now for the last 30 minutes, 35 minutes, something like that?
Like I said, I'll just keep echoing the same sentiment. Every time they showed me a game, every concern that I've had with VR games in the past, it seems like they're slowly addressing them. Have they taken 5 steps forward to where I'm like, this is without a doubt, everybody needs one of these. It's not quite there yet, but like I said, they're leaving a big enough carrot on a stick that they're telling me that maybe in a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, this could be a very viable option compared to a standard PS5, Xbox Series X or whatever style console gaming.
Oh yeah. They have my attention, and I'm definitely thinking to myself, okay, I think VR is more of a I want that now than it was yesterday.
100%.
Honestly. Yeah.
There were 4 games on that list that wasn't an Assassin's Creed or a Resident Evil or something like that. Silent Slayer, Underdogs, Attack on Titan, and Asgard's Wrath 2 were 4 games that I watched that was like, okay, these aren't main event titles that would be fun. These are completely new games I didn't know a lot about that I'm like, I would play that even if it is only on VR.
Yeah, Underdog and the Attack on Titan both really got my attention. Then that's before they showed us Asgard's Wrath 2, and I'm like, oh well, fuck me. All right.
That by itself, like I said, that game by itself, if it's as good as they say it will be, like, and everything comes out, and it's, if we get 80% of what they showed us, then in my opinion, that alone would be worth getting an Oculus, because then you could turn around and play all the other, Fruit Ninja and all of that stuff, and the Rockstar games where you're swinging your lightsabers around. Like, you could kill time with that. Asgard's Wrath is a game that I'm like, I need to play that. I need to experience it and see what it's like, because it checked all of my boxes as a gamer. It's got RPG stuff, the crafting, and open world VR. Give it to me.
Yeah. I'm 100% down from a lot of the stuff we saw. Like I said, the Asgard's Wrath 2 being the one that really got my attention. It was supposed to set up that way, of course, but the idea of Assassin's Creed in VR excites me too. We'll see more about that at the Ubisoft showcase. Yeah, man, I'm down. I mean, I'm glad we watched it, because it was one of like, okay, I don't know what's supposed to be there or anything like that, but I opened it like, it looks kind of interesting. Let's see what they're doing here. So, yeah, and I'm glad I did it.
1,000% worth the watch.
And I'm glad you happened to be on the show today, because having you here to watch it with me, perfect. But I mean, I guess we can get into some other news we got here, Will. I mean, I don't know how we can go up from here. Oh, I know. Let's talk about the reviews for Diablo.
Yes.
Because goddamn, Will, listen. Leading up to this, we've watched a few trailers on this show. We've talked about this game a little bit. Matt's definitely down to play it. He said he's getting it. He's playing it. Our friend John is going to be playing it with him and all that. Now that I've read some of the reviews, I've listened to some people talk about it who have played it and all this kind of stuff. Will, I think I need to get Diablo 4. Like, let's talk about it. So I'm looking at Open Critic right now. It's sitting at an 89 for critic average score. Averaging an 89 right now. Unless, hold on, let me refresh this, just make sure it hasn't changed. Yeah, still 89. 97% of critics recommend this game, sir. Like, IGN gave it a 9. Games Radar gave it a 5 out of 5. GameSpot gave it an 8 out of 10. Hobby Consoles gave it a 9 out of 10. Forbes gave it a 9 out of 10. Let's see who else. GameSpot gave it an 8 out of 10. Destructoid gave it an 8 out of 10. Shack News gave it an 8 out of 10. So great scores across the board. Seems like last week, we actually did a story here talking about the lowest scoring game of the year being, Lord of the Rings Gollum. That's just, the game that probably just shouldn't have come out at all. But let me just look at these reviews and just tell you what they say. So from IGN's Travis Northup, Diablo 4 is a stunning sequel with near perfect endgame and progression design that makes it absolutely excruciating to put down. I mean, you can't get much more glowing than that, There's the Games Radar. Josh West said, after sacrificing nearly 100 hours of my life to Diablo 4, I've barely scratched the surface of what it has to offer. I mean, so I can just get this and never buy another game for the rest of my life then, because I don't have 100 hours in the next year. So
that would be enough to keep me busy for a while.
Oh yeah,
for
definitely. What was another one? Okay, from Forbes, Paul Tassi. Though in theory, an endgame playthrough of Diablo 4 is probably 100 to 200 hours across a larger span of classes, I feel like I can judge what I've seen. My impressions are overwhelmingly positive based on what I've experienced so far, from the map to the gameplay to the new system to even the story, which I was not expecting. Blizzard really seems like they've nailed it, and I'm going to say that the only way this will be poorly received at launch is if technical issues kill people's ability to play. But once it gets rolling, yes, I think you're going to like Diablo 4. So that on top of, like I said, all the other things I've listened to and watched from people who've actually played it, the way that everything works as far as the classes go and how this is, everything based in Dungeons and Dragons. I love D&D, and the way people are describing it when they say they're like, starting, making a new character and all that, the terms they use to describe it, they don't say create another character, they say roll a character. And it's just like, oh, yeah, you
I can do that.
Yeah, I know how to roll a character. Like, so they've got 5 classes that, if I remember correctly, they got the Necromancer, the Sorcerer, Rogue, Barbarian. What am I missing?
Is there
Druid?
Yeah,
the Druid. So and they're like, the way people are talking about it, you and I can both create a Druid and end this game with 2 completely different characters, like 2 completely different Druids. Like other people were talking about how they played with a friend, they both picked rogues, and one of them was the more shadow kind of stealth kill, sneaky kind of thing. The other was more of like, distance crossbow, throw daggers kind of thing. And it was just, oh, yes. I'm so happy this exists. And then I found out like, oh, it's cross-platform multiplayer. So I know Matt and John are probably going to be playing on Xbox. I can still get this on PlayStation and play with my friends.
That's the most crucial multiplayer aspect in 2023 is if it's cross-platform or not.
Yes, because I want to be able to because I'm not one that plays games online like that. But if it's something like this that I can play with my friends, yeah, I'm definitely down to do that. So,
I loved Diablo 3.
See, here's the thing. I've never really sat down and played a Diablo game like that. Like, I think I remember playing Diablo 1 way back in the day, but it was only for like an hour or 2 because somebody else had it,
I didn't get into Diablo 3 until late to the party. My sister got into it. She played tons, max characters, like all the classes were max. She played the shit out of the game. When I lived with her for a little while, she got me playing it. And I started maxing a couple characters. And I was like, this is fun. But in true Will Gray fashion, if I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, I'm going to lose interest in it. And that's what happened with Diablo 3. Mm-hmm. Looking at these, when you sent it to me, I said before we went on air, like, holy shit, I can't believe it scored as high as it did. And then as I looked into it, I was like, it was like they were in my brain. And the skill trees, that's so important. Like the individualism you can pick with how you level each individual character and class based on how you play or what weapons you're using. And chef's kiss.
If I understand what I heard correctly, you can get a good chunk of the way through and change your mind and just wipe all that and reallocate everything, and change your style of play if you want to. That's fucking amazing. Because you're not locked into decisions you make if you think like, oh, I probably should have done this, but you're stuck with it now, so you got to just make it work. If what I heard from people that I listened to and all that correctly, you can change stuff up like that, which is very exciting to me.
I like the idea of, like I said, creative control. Let me decide how I want to play your game. Like, set me up, give me in the world, set the parameters of what I can physically do that your physics are going to allow me. But don't make me feel like I'm in a box. And like Asgard's Wrath with what we just saw, looking through and seeing the pictures and just the vastness of that game, I go, okay, you can sink your teeth into that and chew for a little while.
Indeed. I was when I was first looking at this stuff yesterday with Diablo 4 especially, last night I sent my nephew Kobe a text. I was just like, Kobe. He was like, what's wrong? What is it? I'm like, no, nothing's wrong. I think we have to get Diablo 4. And he's like, wait, I mean, I've heard of it, but I'm like, no. I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you some videos, and then I'm going to just show you a couple of things, and you will agree with me. And I sent it to him. He read it like, oh damn, you're right. It's just like yeah. So I'm pretty sure he's down too. So
it was one of those I wasn't sure how it would do, if I would even be interested in it when it came out, but seeing how high it's rated, I was like, okay. And then I started looking at the pictures and the still shots, and I was just like, this game will fuck 100%.
Definitely. Let's talk about another game that's doing very, very well in the ratings here. Street Fighter 6, Will. The people like Street Fighter 6.
Even more.
Yes.
Before, apparently.
Open Critic, it is at a 92% average. Critics recommended, 98% of critics recommend this game, sir. Like, it's going even higher than Diablo 4. There's not enough here to make me be like, oh, I need to get this, because I'm just not a fighting game person outside of Mortal Kombat, really, you know? And that's not even a lot. It's kind of like, if I'm going to play a fighting game, I'll pick up Mortal Kombat at some point down the line kind of thing. Mortal Kombat has never really been a day one must get for me. But it's one that I've always been like, oh, yeah, that's interesting. I might check that out later. But let me just throw out a few of the reviews here. From IGN, gave it a 9 out of 10. So Street Fighter 6 is the most feature-rich a Street Fighter has ever been at launch. But even beyond that, its roster of 18 characters is excellent. The new mechanics revitalized the one-on-one fighting formula, and it absolutely nails all the little things that make for a stellar fighting game. Basically saying, if you like fighting games, this is going to be your shit. Like, Games Radar gave it 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 stars. Here it says Street Fighter 6 offers the most flexible, versatile, and expressive combat scene in the series to date. With its fantastic suite of game modes and diverse character roster, Street Fighter 6 has something to offer every type of fighting game fan. So yeah, man. Street Fighter killing it too.
This is one of those series where if they do it right and the game's not broken, you almost expect it to be a home run. I feel like Street Fighter is up there with Mortal Kombat and Tekken as far as fighting games goes, with those franchises where if you think platformers, you think Mario and Sonic and so on. And when you think fighters, you think Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter and occasionally Tekken. So
you want to hear something crazy?
What's that?
Apparently the last Tekken outsold the last Street Fighter.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising to me. I feel like Tekken was always kind of that third wheel, is that Impact Wrestling of the fighter world, because Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were always the big ones, but then Tekken always hung. They were always right there, but I never really thought they would be. So it surprises me that the last Tekken outsold the last.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, because I'm not really in the fighting game world. I don't know like that. It's just Street Fighter is the one I know. So it just made sense to me that I just would automatically think they outsold them, but no.
I mean, Street Fighter's stacked. It's one of those classic games. As long as, even if they do put a fresh coat of paint on it, apparently the people are going to buy it. And a 98%.
Yeah, adding that new world thing too apparently isn't turning people off either. So
PC Gamer gave it an 89. I feel like that. Looking at these other scores, 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, like all of it. Then you get to PC Gamer and they're like B+ at best.
Yeah, well, you know, PC gamers, like in general, not even just like the actual like PC Gamer website or whatever, they tend to be kind of snobbish. So one of those things are just like, not enough frames per second here, you know.
I feel like that's the whole thing with PC gamers is, if everybody else loves it, they have to be the ones to be like, it's just not our thing.
Yeah, exactly. they always feel like they want to express that they're up here above everybody else, you know.
They're the hipsters of the gaming world.
Basically. Oh man, let's see. What else can we talk about here? We don't have a lot of time left. You know what? Actually, since we watched the MetaQuest showcase, they announced the MetaQuest 3. We just didn't see it during the showcase. Let's watch the trailer for that.
Love trailers.
Yeah.
Bump it up another level. Like only you can do. Switch it up.
Streamlining it.
Switch it up. Switch it up back. Switch it up back. Switch it up back. Switch it up. Switch it up back. Switch it up back.
Okay.
Switch it up. Switch it up.
Yeah, we saw that game.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Switch it up. What you gonna do with the power?
Let's get real.
What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with the power? What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with the power? What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it?
That's something I've always wanted to do. Is playing D&D like through VR,
like in a tabletop style.
Yeah.
You're still playing D&D, but in VR. That would be cool.
Switch it up. Hello, about to be a good time.
you will never look that cool playing it.
Not a chance.
Make it move, go ahead.
$500 for free. Okay. It's a little higher than I expected, but because I think the MetaQuest 2 was $300. So
And it was $499.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the difference between, okay, if I wanted to get a PS5 or if I was going to get a MetaQuest, I'm not going to choose a MetaQuest over a PS5 at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm still not quite there just for Asgard's Wrath 2.
Right.
But
And that's one of those where, like, is it exclusive to the MetaQuest 3? Like, does PlayStation VR have Asgard's Wrath? You know, we don't really know for sure. Actually, let me look this up. Maybe Asgard's Wrath is, you know.
I bet we can. It's 2023.
Let's see. Guess it helps if I spell it right, though. Okay, yeah. So right now it's not, but people are like, we want it to be ported and blah 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 blah. Yeah. So right now it's only on the MetaQuest.
Lame.
I mean, you know, it's fine. PlayStation has their exclusives too, so not to be too upset about that.
I'm just blown away. Like, I keep going back to it, and I keep thinking about the fact that I did not expect a VR game to have all of that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I'm with you. It got my attention too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they understood the assignment, because I'm sitting here going, okay, like, when am I going to be able to at least play it so I can try it? Because that's how cool it looked. They did their job. They won.
100%. Like, they made me really want a MetaQuest. Like, it's one of those where it's just like, there were times I was like, you know, I'm pretty interested. I probably enjoy, you know, more VR experiences and getting the MetaQuest and all that, because I've used like the smaller ones that you just attach to your phone and you can kind of look around and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've used those, but yeah, I want a MetaQuest and I want Diablo 4. Will, like,
that's
those
the
are
moral
the
of the
takeaways
story.
for today.
Thanks for stopping by. Like, that was it.
Basically, that's what I'm going to tell you, folks. Diablo 4 and MetaQuest 3. I want
Maybe
them.
we can get a MetaQuest 2 on Facebook Marketplace cheap now, because people will be upgrading.
Maybe.
Make sure their face juice is off the thing first. But yeah. Maybe not. Now that I think about that, my OCD is not going to let me put somebody else's face mask on my face. I immediately talked myself out of that as it was happening.
I completely understand. But Will, I think we can end the show there. This is a very like I said, unexpected surprise. Had a good time though.
Pivot.
Yeah. We pivoted and we pivoted well. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching this later, know that you can watch us live on twitch.tv/Creatia World. And while you're there, we'd appreciate it if you subscribe. If you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Prime Gaming, which means you can subscribe to us for free. Just connect your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account, and you get a free subscription every month. On top of that, you also get free stuff from Amazon as well in the gaming world, you know, free stuff to go along with your games and all that kind of stuff. It's worth it beyond just a subscription, but that's what I care about, because that helps us out. And honestly, if you don't give it to us, give it to somebody else. Give it to your favorite Twitch streamer out there. There's a lot of them out there, so do that. You can also watch us live on YouTube at youtube.com/Creatia World. So please go there and do that. Subscribing there is free, of course. If you all are familiar with YouTube, I hope you are if you're watching this on YouTube. But yeah, for free. Subscribe there. And as we like to say, when you ring that bell, just flick that bean at the bottom so you know every time that we are live, every time we drop a new video, check that out for us. But if you want to go and watch us and the favorite place for Matt to watch us, Matt, the Warden, Matt Ritter, that'll be pornhub.com/model/creation world, because we are the #1 news source for all that nerdish on the hub. So go there, watch us there, and make Matt happy. If you want to support us financially, the best way to do that is on Patreon, patreon.com/creation world. And by going there, you get access to, a lot of cool stuff, exclusive shows for $1 a month. So you get Return to Wrestling with myself and the Warden, Matt Ritter. We go back and watch old WCW, and I make him suffer through a lot more Hulk Hogan than he will ever want to. Also, Multiverse with myself and the Mara the Shark Watkins. We're going back watching a lot of comic book animated stuff right now, working our way through DC. We just did Flashpoint Paradox to get us ready for the new Flash movie that's coming out. So that's a good time, both based on the same story in comics. Great time for all to be had. Also, you get other things like, exclusive merch and all that. Like right now, we got an exclusive sticker for the month of June. That is the Guardian Arachnid. That has absolutely nothing to do with the man who seems to like spiders, who may or may not have a movie coming out soon and a video game coming out later on this year. Completely different guy. All right. Completely different guy. This is the Guardian Arachnid. This is not, that other person. All right. Completely different dude, different stuff. Yeah. You know what? As a matter of fact, let me just show you what he looks like, because, he's just so you know, he's a completely different guy. All right. This is a different dude. See, he's a different guy. But you can get this sticker at patreon.com/creation world by subscribing. Get your free sticker. All right. Along with other perks.
All the perks.
Yeah.
That's a dope ass sticker.
Yeah. I thought so too. Also, don't forget, if you want to look at other things we have going on in all our, everywhere you can find us, creationworld.com. Go there. Links to everything are there. All our socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at It's Creation World. That's at ITSCREATIA World. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/Creation World. Facebook groups while you're there. Facebook.com/group/them dragons. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, the House of the Dragon, go there. Hang out with us. Share your Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon memes. Just cool pictures of dragons to make me happy. Just do that, We'd appreciate that as well. And if you're a wrestling fan, you want to go to facebook.com/group/Smacking It Raw. It is the official Facebook group for our Friday night podcast, Smacking It Raw, where we have the Warden, Matt Ritter, Vince Daddy Delgado, Katie Kizzy Bebe. They go through their week in wrestling and have a good time with all of you. I believe that's it for us. You can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Lord_Cussalott. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Will, where can they find you? Plug your shit, all that good stuff, sir.
Travis, first and foremost, as always, thank you for allowing me to be the honorary use of his Creatia World. If you want to find me and my shenanigans elsewhere outside of this, you can check my link tree at the Will Gray and find all things Rivet City Radio and Botchbots and Share Shots.
Dope. All right, y'all. Thank you for being here with us today in our pivot, because, we definitely were not expecting to do that
Flying
today.
out of the seat of our pants.
We did. We'll catch y'all next time, though. Until then, we out.
Peace.